So, welcome back to Totally Integrated Instrumentation. Today we're going to take a look at remote data collection units. In particular, this one from a company called Powelectrics, based in the Midlands. Thanks Dave Oakes for the loan of this device. This particular device, the Metron 4, is 4G enabled. Comes with the SIM installed. There's software, or you can send it text messages to configure it, which we're going to have a look on or look at with this video. For this one, I really wanted to test the low power settings, so I've got a solar panel with a backup battery which is cyclically charged, and so that's a complete package from Powelectrics. We will put this out and give it a proper test. So the most important thing when you're using these type of devices that you've got to realise, because they're battery powered, we've got to conserve the battery. So we're not taking a measurement all of the time. We can't have this device on all the time. The battery wouldn't last very long at all. So what tends to happen is you program a wake up time, and it will wake up and take a measurement. And how long it stays awake is referred to as the settling time. And that is the settling time of the device that it's connected to it. So how long it takes to power up, take its first measurements, and then turn back off. Okay. So when we're looking at instruments to connect to this, low power and quick settling times, and really some of the applications where these are going can be quite challenging. So, a company called Process Instrumentation Sales, based in Suffolk, have been using the Metron 4 with some of our level devices. But what we have here is the Siemens brand new low cost radar, the SITRANS LR110. There is another version, but it's an 80 gigahertz radar. So it will cope really well with solids applications, but it's also fast reacting for liquid applications, and hopefully I'll get to prove that that's been a response for you. But it is, or it looks almost instant when you look at the milliamps value coming back. It's low powered. I think the spec is 12 volts, but the tests that I did yesterday with a bench power supply and multimeter, this actually powered up at 10 volts, but we have to consider there that there was no resistance in the loop really, which is pretty much what we've got here. But the other thing is the settling time. Again, the specification says 10 seconds, which is a lot faster than other devices out on the market that say 20, 30 seconds. There's some pH analyzers that I've seen connected to systems like this that take up to a minute to take their measurement. This particular device, as I said, 10 seconds. In the tests that I did yesterday, and I'll try to replicate those and put them on the video as well, this was booting up in about 7.5 seconds and taking its first measurement. So we have to go with the manufacturer specification, but that's what this channel's all about. We do our own tests and we have a look at the results. So what we're going to do, first of all, is look at the display of this, then we'll look at the software, and then we'll have a look at the Bluetooth connectivity, because as you'll see, this device doesn't have a display. You can put a heart display, because this comes with heart as well, if you want to display locally. But to configure it and check your diagnostics, it's done via a Bluetooth connection to an app, and Siemens apps for connectivity over Bluetooth, we're calling those SITRANS Mobile IQ. So those will be coming out the same time that this is released. So let's look at the screens of the Metron 4 first, and then we'll work our way through the rest of the kit.
So we'll have a look at the menu on this device. So the first thing we have to do is enter the default pin, as you can see, the buttons are really responsive. There's no problem here. We are in the warmth of my dining room. So we'll have a look at the channels. So 6 channels that it can look at. You can't edit anything via this menu, it's only read only. So we have under here the info, what it's programmed up. So percent, supply type is 2, which is 4 to 20. Then we have thresholds. So these are the alarms. You can put some notes in here, so you might want to put what you're actually measuring in there. And then the nice feature is the read now. So you can see here, there's my startup current of 3.4, and then we've got our settling time, and there we go, the instrument has taken its first measurement, all within less than 10 seconds. And that stays powered on, and that's important because I've seen some of these before where you can't program the instrument because it turns off too quick. So that's nice. We can also force a transmit. So this is reading the sensors. You can see there the settle time is 20 seconds, and it's going to transmit that data. So I've downloaded the software for this unit, and it's on my PC here. It's called Metron 2 config, so it's obviously using the same config program. So if we double click this, there's the project there. When I installed the software, it must have put the driver on as well, because if I go to my device manager, I can see it's set up as COM port 7. So I've opened the software, but before you start using it, you have to make sure the unit is awake. You can wake it up by pressing the buttons on the front, and then it should see serial port 7. So if I scan COM ports, it's definitely not software for old people because I'm struggling to read that, but it is COM port 7. So there's my system information. So I need to read the device. I can see here I have a transmission. It's going to wake up every 10 minutes. Some information about my antenna. Read sensors if left button pressed. Okay, so you can force it to read. Wake up interval 0. Right, okay. So important thing for me, the only thing I really want to do is have a look at the inputs. Yeah, that's all I'm really interested in. So I've got my excitation voltage there. Okay, that's interesting. So if you have got a really low powered unit, you can take it down to 5 volts, but as I said, we need 10 at least. It says I think it's 12 on the spec, but the settling time we can change. That is going to help. So let's take that down to 10 seconds. And I want my units in meters, and we'll go online with the app in a minute to show you this, but I've got 5 meter MT. 4 to 20, let's have a look at the other options. Okay, they're pretty standard. Then I have some alarm thresholds here that I can program. It looks like these are they're integers, but it's fine. I can disable the channel or can turn it into a digital input. If I just want to, rather than having a continuous level device, I could have like a level switch to really get the cost down. Let's have a look at some of these advanced settings. Okay, use rate of change. Well, that's nice, the linearization. Okay, so that's good. And then you've got dynamic login intervals. So I'm guessing that's if it reaches a certain value, that you can get it logging a bit quicker. So really, that's all I wanted to do. I've changed it to meters, changed my span. When we actually install this on site, we'll change we'll enable the other channels, so you can see there's my other inputs. So if we, nice thing about this, I can change this. So let's see if there's a, okay, and we can put some notes in there. So I'm just going to write that to the device. That's done, and of course you can save. So I did save before I started. I think that's just in case everything goes wrong. And that's it. Really simple to use. So when you get receipt of the hardware, I also got an email from Powelectrics with my own landing page hosted by them. They put the nice Siemens logo up there. Thank you very much. And on here, I can see my logged information. And it's come down here. I can see the last time. So at 9 or 1 minute to 10, no, 5 minutes past 10, I can see that T1 took a measurement of 4.6 meters, and then I have all my firmware versions. My other channels are disabled, and this one here must be reading the battery voltage, and ambient temperature, and my phone signal strength, and the internal battery, I'm guessing, inside the Metron. So this is my one that's being charged here by the solar panel. I can see my data over here. This looks quite user friendly, so I'm not really interested in all the ones on here. Hardware version. So I can see my data. I have no alarms programmed on this, so it looks like on the device I can program alarms, so it will log on, and it will send text messages by the looks of it. But yeah, as far as digitalization goes, I know Powelectrics have been doing this for at least 10 years. Simple, out of the box solution, SIM card pre-installed, software free, unless I was a special customer, but it seemed to be free. And the web interface, really user friendly, and it looks like it can be tailored by them to do and look like you want it to look. For a very good entry level product, this is absolutely spot on. So I hope you found that useful, and on the next blog we'll have a look at the Bluetooth interface on the LR110 with it connected to this telemetry unit. So thanks for listening, and stay tuned for future blogs.